Good afternoon. It's 4:30. I just finished my shift at Denty's. When did you arrive home? I arrived home like 12 minutes ago. I walked all the way from Denty's home. I have a 40-minute walk from home. It's a long fucking walk. But I'm off tomorrow. I could go 40, I think. But I think I work Friday. So I get tomorrow off, which is nice, obviously. Yeah. Alright, I like the new setup. Yeah, it's nice, huh? It's better than my old one. I'm tired of that setup. I want to change it up. When I cleaned my room 2 days ago, I changed it up. I changed my setup up. My setup for my room. The TV's now over here. It used to be over there. And my chair used to be right here. But now I'm over here where my closet is, and then the TV's in front of me. Some sour. I bought my beer. I got my smokes. I have my Disney's food. I'm gonna get an appetizer during this video. I'll probably just make chicken nuggets again from yesterday. Microwave chicken nuggets for my appetizer. I eat all day. I'm fucking hungry. When you go to work, you don't eat breakfast? Nah, I don't eat breakfast. I just go to work. I don't eat breakfast. Maybe I should start waking up earlier and make my... A few times I woke up early and I made myself breakfast, but I'm lazy. I just wake up, I have a couple smokes, listen to music, and I take a shower and I go straight to work. I take the bus to work. I bus at Denty's now. I don't walk. Going there, I bus, but coming back, I walk. It's good exercise. 40-minute walk. It's good exercise, right? Yeah. So this year, all my money's going towards my book. I'm going to get my book proofread and design my cover for my book. Because the Gates are going to sell the house soon. I told you, if they sell the house, I'm going to be homeless. Unless I roommate with somebody, but I mean, even if I roommate with somebody, I'm going to have no money for myself. $900 every 2 weeks, you pay $500 a month rent. You only have No, I have a little bit of money, but I'm barely making it by. If you're paying $500 a month rent, if you get paid $900 every 2 weeks, you can take $250 from each of your paychecks. I'll have a little bit of money, but I'm barely making it by, man. Because you can't make a living doing minimum wage. And the Gates know that because they're blinded by their envy. I don't care if Ivan's homeless. Kick him out of the house. He's not touching a dollar of money because they're consumed with their envy. They're crazy people, obviously. Is that right? Whereas my wife, even though she has a sabotage career, at least she has money. She has millions in her bank. She has a few, maybe $5 million in her bank. She's rich. She can do stuff. If VJ's family kicked her out of the house, VJ will be fine. She can easily rent an apartment, pay her bills, no problem. She's rich. She's a multi-millionaire, VJ, whereas I'm completely poor because I didn't sell to the Gates. Yeah, one sold to the Gates. She's rich, but she has a sabotage career. The other guy did not sell to the Gates. He's completely poor. He works minimum wage, but the difference between me and my wife is my keys are worth a lot. Hers are useless. That's why she envies me. Yeah, Ivan wrote his own book. He doesn't have to sell to the Gates. That's billions for him. I want a piece of that. I want to be queen with him. That's why she cries right to me, because she's desperate, man. She knows she got duped by the Gates. She wants me to get out of Hollywood. My wife, yeah. Some Sarah? She got duped by the Gates. She got duped. I'm going to challenge you Christians on that passage in the Bible. This is how you refute their arguments, Ivan. This proves Jesus did do a bad deed. Because I'm a genius. Okay, in that passage in Hebrews, if Paul wrote Hebrews, when he said Christ was tempted on points like we are yet without sin, when women were hitting on Jesus, was Jesus tempted? Ivan, he was tempted. Okay, if he was tempted, that means he must have thought lustful thoughts towards those women. And if he did think lustful thoughts towards those women, that means you have a dilemma, because Paul ends up contradicting Jesus, because Jesus said, if you look upon a woman and lust in her heart, you already commit adultery in your heart. You have a contradiction. So now you have to reconcile the passage. Okay, Jesus must have done a bad deed. And the passage that Jesus said in the Gospels is a general statement. Or if you say, Or if you say Jesus was tempted, but he didn't think it was lustful thoughts, you end up refuting Paul, who said he was tempted like we are. If you're saying Jesus was tempted and you did not think it was lustful thoughts when you're hitting on him, that means he wasn't tempted like we are. He was tempted in a different way. And you end up refuting Paul. And the passage is now obsolete. It makes no sense. So you have two choices. Either you have to admit Jesus is a bad deed and you have to reconcile the contradiction. Jesus said a general statement. Or you have to try to find a way to butcher the passage by saying that Jesus was tempted, but he didn't think of lustful thoughts. Okay, if Jesus was tempted, he didn't think of lustful thoughts. That means he wasn't truly tempted, and he wasn't tempted like we are. He was tempted in a different supposed way, and you end up contradicting Paul. And the passage now makes no sense. You have to butcher the scriptures. And it's like put the Christian in a pickle. Yeah, you got me there. Yeah, you have to admit Jesus is a bad deed, and that's how you prove that Jesus is a bad deed. I'm a genius. Trap a Christian with this question, Ivan. I'm telling you right now, they can't answer the question without getting refuted. I'm a genius. I have the wisdom of God. Yeah. I have the wisdom of God. Sam's like, yeah, I mean, that's a good argument, man. You trap me. We can't answer that passage without getting refuted. Yes. If you say Jesus was tempted, but he never thought those lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't really tempted, and he wasn't tempted like we are. And you end up contradicting that passage that Paul wrote in Hebrews, if he wrote Hebrews. And if you say he did think of lust after those women, that means Jesus did lust after woman's own heart. And now you have a contradiction with Paul and Jesus. Now you have to admit that Jesus did a bad deed. Yeah, if Jesus said you lust after woman's heart, you commit adultery in your own heart, that's a bad deed. That means we have to admit that Jesus did that bad deed, yes. And you have to say that Jesus, well, it was a general statement when Jesus said that, yes. And that's how you prove the arguments, Ivan. No, Ivan, he was tempted, but he was, there was no sin in him. He never thought those thoughts. Well, then that means he wasn't tempted like we are. He wasn't tempted like a human being. He was tempted in another supposed way. And you end up contradicting the passage. You have to now find a way to butcher that passage that Paul wrote in Hebrews, if he wrote Hebrews. That's how you refute their arguments. So either way, you have a dilemma there. You either have to admit Jesus did the bad deed, and then that was a general statement when he said, if you look at a woman lust in your heart, you made those in your heart. Or you say he was tempted, but he didn't have lustful thoughts, and now you just contradicted Paul, who said he was tempted like we are. If you're saying Jesus was tempted, but he didn't think it was lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't tempted like we are. And you end up refuting. Yeah, Bible says without sin. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so Jesus was tempted. The passage makes no sense if you're butchering the passage. If Jesus was tempted, but he didn't think it was lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't tempted. And it doesn't make any sense. If Jesus was tempted, and he didn't think it was lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't truly tempted. So without sin is obviously talking about his nature. It's not talking about his deed. Because if Jesus was tempted and he didn't think those lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't tempted like we are. And Christians will say, yeah, he didn't sin, Ivan, because he was tempted and he didn't have lustful thoughts. But why is Paul saying he was tempted like we are, like us human beings? You end up contradicting Paul and you refute yourself. Samsara? Yeah, Jesus was tempted, but he didn't do a bad deed, he didn't sin. But then if he didn't do the bad deed, that means he wasn't tempted. Like you have a contradiction. Jesus was tempted, Ivan, but he never sinned, he never did bad. He never thought those thoughts. Well, then he wasn't tempted to begin with. What's the point of Paul saying he was tempted if he didn't do a bad deed to begin with? If he wasn't tempted to begin with, it doesn't make any sense. You end up contradicting the scriptures, and you have to butcher that passage. Without sin makes more sense. Okay, he did the bad deed, but there was no sin in his nature. Whereas if you say he was tempted, but he never did a bad deed, the passage makes no sense. It's gobbledygook. It doesn't make any sense. Because if Jesus is tempted and he never did a bad deed, if Jesus was tempted and he never did a bad deed, obviously, then what's the point of Paul saying he was tempted? Like he was tempted, but he didn't do a bad, but he didn't think it was lustful thoughts. That means he wasn't really tempted. And now it says without sin. So Jesus was tempted, but when he was tempted, he didn't do the bad deed, and he also never did a bad deed. It doesn't make any sense if you're gonna equate sin with deeds. Jesus was tempted, but he didn't do the bad deed, and he also never did a bad deed because he never sinned. That's what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense. Yeah, he was tempted. He thought the lustful thoughts, but he was without sin. There was no sin. There was no sin in him. That's what it means. Because Paul's admitting that Jesus did a bad deed. All you gotta do is trap the Christian with that question, Ivan, and you fruit them. Yeah. That passage must be talking about his nature. Because Paul's admitting Jesus did a bad deed. No, Ivan, he was tempted, but he never did a bad deed. You know what I'm saying? And I trap you with a question you can't answer without getting refuted. You either have to butcher the passage and contradict Paul if you wrote Hebrews, or you have to admit Jesus did a bad deed, and then that passage in the Gospels is a general statement. Those are your two options. You can't get around that passage, man. No, Ivan, he was tempted, but like he didn't sin, Ivan. He didn't sin. He was tempted, but he didn't do the bad deed. Well, then what's the point of Paul saying he was tempted at all points if he wasn't tempted to begin with? No, Ivan, he was tempted, but like he was not. Yeah, he wasn't tempted like human beings are. If you say that, you refute the passage. Paul said he was tempted like we are, and that's why you trapped him, Ivan. Yeah, you got me there. He was tempted, but he didn't do the bad deed. But Paul says he was tempted like we are. But if you say he was tempted, but he didn't do the bad deed, that means he wasn't tempted like we are. And we end up refuting that. Like we end up contradicting that passage. We butcher the passage. Yes. Or if we have to admit that he did think of lustful thoughts because he was tempted. But if he did think of lustful thoughts, that means he did commit adultery in his heart, Jesus, and he did the bad deed. That means that's proof that Jesus did a bad deed. Yes. And that's how you what? You destroy their arguments, Ivan. I'm a genius. Sounds like, you should do apologetics. I'm like, nah, Sam. I'm gonna be a movie star in my life. I don't want to do apologetics. I'm sorry. What's the point of Paul saying he was tempted if he was never really tempted to begin with? There's a reason why Paul put in that passage he was tempted, because he was tempted as a human being. He was tempted as a human being, not tempted as he was tempted, but he didn't do lustful thoughts. That means he's not. That means you contradict Paul, because Paul said he was tempted like we are. So you have a dilemma, man. You either have to admit he did think those lustful thoughts, and hence he did the bad deed, obviously, and it's a general statement in when Jesus made that commandment. Or you say he was tempted, but he didn't think of lustful thoughts. But now you contradict Paul, and you have to butcher that passage when it says he was tempted like we are, like human beings. How do you reconcile that? Yeah, you refute us. We can't answer that. Yes, you can't answer that because I'm a genius. And that's proof Jesus did one bad deed in your life. So even if you can quote me all these passages in the Bible, let's say Jesus was sinless, I think it's talking about his nature. But because you admit that Jesus did one bad deed, now your whole argument, your whole thing about Jesus never doing bad deed falls to shreds, man. Your whole belief about him never doing one bad deed falls to shreds, and that's how you refute their arguments. You destroy them in a debate. Yeah, I'm a genius. The wisdom of God, right? Yeah, the wisdom of God. Yeah. I'm going to go upstairs and get a coffee soon, guys. I made some coffee upstairs. And later in the video, I'm going to go make some food. Because I'm very hungry. I have my dinner's food, but I didn't eat all day. I want to eat my appetizers. I'll probably have chicken nuggets like yesterday. Microwave chicken nuggets with barbecue sauce. Yeah. Some saying? Yeah. Yeah, you got us there, man. We say Jesus was tempted, but he never thought those lustful thoughts. That means he wasn't tempted like we are, and we contradict Paul. Or if we say he was truly tempted, he must have thought those lustful thoughts. That means Jesus did commit adultery in his heart, and then he did one bad deed. How do you reconcile that? Yeah, Jesus can be a holy God and still do bad deeds. That's how you reconcile it. Just like in the Old Testament, when he was God, he did bad deeds too, and he did not take on flesh, and that's how you refute their arguments, Ivan. Well, Ivan, like, Jesus can't do bad deeds. Holy. Okay, now I'm going to throw the Old Testament argument right back at you, right back in your face. When Jesus was the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament, did he not write in the Ten Commandments, right? Thou shalt not murder. If you murder, it's a sin. Yes, Ivan, he did. Okay. and yet he's murdering people left and right in the Old Testament. Is he still a holy God even though he murdered people in the Old Testament? Yes, he is. And why are you applying double standards to the argument? Ivan, you got me there. And that's how you flip your arguments, Ivan. And they can't answer you. They can't win that debate. All I gotta do is trap him with that tempted passage. Their whole argument about Jesus never doing a bad deed falls to shreds. Because I proved in that passage he did do a bad deed. By me trapping with that question, I proved Jesus did do a bad deed because he was tempted. All points that we are. You say he was tempted, but he didn't have lustful thoughts. That means he wasn't truly tempted, and he wasn't tempted like we are, which means you contradict Paul, and now you have a dilemma. You can't. You trapped me. I can't answer that without getting refuted. Yes, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I have the wisdom of God. Yeah, man. So I'd be confident to debate any Christian on this topic? Yes. I'd even be confident to debate Xanus on this topic. If I trap Xanus on this topic, he wouldn't be able to answer it either. Because it's a man. Like, Ivan trapped me. I can't. It's a tough question. I can't answer without getting refuted. Yeah, if you say Jesus was tempted and he never did a bad deed, obviously. Sorry. If you say Jesus was tempted, but he didn't do the bad, he didn't think lust was also were those women. That means he wasn't tempted like we are. He was tempted in a different way. But Paul doesn't say that. Paul said he was tempted like we are. Refutation. And if you say, he did think love was alive, then that means you have to admit that Jesus did a bad deed. And that passage when he says, you look at a woman lust in your own heart, it's a general statement. That's how you reconcile. Yeah, we have a dilemma here. Yeah, you have to act. Either way, you get refuted. I'm a genius. Obviously, maybe not Sash Moon. Sash Moon's very knowledgeable of the Bible. He would beat me pretty bad, but like I'd be confident to debate like a Christian on this topic. I think I'd do a pretty good job. It'd be a back and forth, like because this is a very radical view of Jesus. Because this is a very radical view of Jesus, a lot of Christians will think I'm a heretic, obviously. But I'd be confident enough to defend this against any Christian in a debate, man. Maybe except for Sam Shamoon, right? I'd be confident to defend this against any Christian in a debate. Because I think I have good evidence just to prove that that passage proves he did a bad deed. I just explained it to you earlier, right now. Maybe this whole thing about Jesus being completely sinless. I believe he was completely sinless, but his nature was completely sinless. But it doesn't mean you do a bad deed, right? You can still be a holy God and do bad deeds. Obviously. But I do agree, it's impossible for Jesus to live a wicked life because he has the holy DNA of the Father. He lived compared to everyone else, his life was good, but he did mess up a little bit. He did bad deeds. I don't think he messed up bad. Impossible for him to mess up bad, but he messed up a little bit, just like I mess up a little bit in my life. But compared to you guys, I'm good. That's the difference, right? Yeah, I'm a good man compared to you guys. He was a good man compared to everyone else, but he did do bad deeds. As I proved to you earlier, right, with my trap you with that passage, yeah. Because most Christians interpret tempted to mean he was tempted, but he never sinned. But if he's tempted, but if the women are hitting on him and he's tempted, obviously, then he must have had those lustful thoughts towards those women. But according to Jesus, if you look upon a woman lustful in your heart, that's a sin. And yet the passage makes no sense. If you say he was tempted, but he never did the bad deed, Ivan, then you contradict Paul, who said he was tempted like we are. Yeah, but Ivan, he says he was tempted like we are, yet without sin. That's talking about his nature, not talking about the deeds. If you say without sin means the deeds, the passage now makes no sense. Like he was tempted, Ivan, like we are, like us human beings, which means if the woman hit him, he must have had those lustful thoughts, but he didn't sin. Like, that doesn't make any sense. He was tempted, like we are. When the woman hit on him, he must have lustful thoughts. But according to Jesus, if you lust upon a woman, lust in your heart, that's a sin. But yet Paul says without sin, you have a conscience, you have a mess. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. We have to butcher the passage. Yeah, you have to butcher the passage, man. It doesn't make any sense. If he wasn't really tempted, then what's the point of Paul saying he was tempted yet without? What's the point of Paul saying he was tempted yet without sin if he wasn't really tempted? Like, what's the point of Paul saying he was tempted if he wasn't really tempted and also he without sin? It doesn't make any sense. Like, the passions makes no sense. You end up contradicting Paul. Yeah. Whereas if you talk about the nature, it makes more sense. Yeah, he did the bad deed, but he had no sin in him. That makes more sense. Most Christians interpret to mean he was tempted, but he never did a bad deed, Ivan, in his life. Well, Paul said he was tempted like we are. So how do you get around that passage, right? Yeah. Yeah, if you got us, man. If you say Jesus was tempted, if we say Jesus was tempted, but he didn't think it was also thoughts when we're not hitting on him, that means he wasn't really tempted, and he wasn't tempted like we are, like Paul said. We end up contradicting Paul. Yeah, you have a contradiction there. If you're saying he wasn't tempted, if you're saying that he was tempted, but like he didn't think it was also thoughts, that means he wasn't truly tempted, and he wasn't tempted like we are. He was tempted in a different, I don't know, some different sort of crazy way. And you end up contradicting Paul into refutation. But if you say he was tempted like we are, then he must have had lustful thoughts. That means Jesus did commit adultery in his heart. But then how do you reconcile that? He did a bad deed. He's still a holy God because he has the holy nature of the Father. Yes, that's how you reconcile the passage. And that's how you refute them, Ivan. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go and get my coffee. It's been like 20 minutes. I'll be back doing this show I made for you. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Yeah, that's how you refute their arguments, Ivan. They can't answer it without getting refuted. I'm a genius. Yeah, if we admit that Jesus was tempted, but he didn't think it was awful thoughts, that means he wasn't tempted like we are, like Paul said, and we contradict that passage. Or we have to admit he was truly tempted, which means he must have thought those awful thoughts towards the woman. And if he did, then Jesus just contradicted his own commandment. And that's proof he did. That's proof he did do a bad deed, and it's a general statement. Yeah, that's how you refute their arguments, Ivan. I end up proving Jesus did a bad deed. You either have to admit that you have two choices. Either you admit Jesus did the bad deed, and that's a general commandment, stay away from sin, or you have to butcher the scriptures and contradict Paul, contradict the passage in Hebrews. So either way, it's a dilemma. It's your choice. You either have to butcher the passage and contradict Paul if you wrote Hebrews, or you have to admit Jesus did a bad deed. And what? And it's a general statement when he said, "Whoever looks at a woman lusts after her in his heart has committed adultery." I'm a genius. That's how you fit the arguments, Ivan. Even Sam Shamoon wouldn't be able to answer this because it's a trap. It doesn't matter how amazing apologist the guy is. When you trap any Christian with this passage, they can't answer it without getting refuted. You can't answer that question. You have to find a way to tap dance around it, but you can't answer it without getting refuted. Yeah. You know, I mean, maybe this whole thing about Jesus never doing bad deeds, maybe it's bullshit. Maybe he did do bad deeds, but he was still a good holy God. Yeah, he took on flesh. He was tempted, man. Like all points that we are, man. Yeah, but he never jacked off. Like, it's impossible. Like, yes, Jesus can be a virgin, but there's no way in your life you're not gonna jack off, man. I'm a virgin. I've jacked off many times in my life. Yeah, you have temptations, man. Yeah, but because Jesus was in constant communication, prayer, and redeeming Christ to the Father saw his life as a perfect life. He lived a good, holy life, but it doesn't mean he didn't do any bad deeds. Yeah. The Father didn't condemn the Son when the Son murdered people in the Old Testament, right? So why would he condemn Jesus for doing bad deeds in his life? You're being inconsistent with the arguments. When Jesus murdered those people in the Old Testament, did the Father... Did he cut off his relationship with the Father and the Holy Spirit? Like, how does that work? Oh, no, he didn't, Ivan. Okay, well, then why are you being consistent? If Jesus takes on flesh, you would expect him to be tempted and do some bad deeds, but he lived a good, holy life. And the Father was pleased with his life, yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. The Father was pleased with his life. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to read you that Hebrew passage again. Yeah. So anytime, before I read the passage, anytime a Christian says Christ was tempted, but he never did a bad deed, he ends up contradicting Paul, who said he was tempted like we are. Ivan, he was tempted, but he never had lustful thoughts toward a woman. He never had horrific thoughts towards people. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up contradicting Paul because Paul said he was tempted exactly like we are. So if you're saying Jesus was tempted in some sort of special way, in a different way, then you contradict Paul, who says he was tempted like we are. So if you're saying that he wasn't tempted like we are, then you contradict Paul. How do you reconcile that? You can't reconcile it. It's a refutation. I'm a genius, yeah. And that's proof Jesus did do a bad deed. I'm a genius, yeah. I'm a genius. Hey, let me read you that passage from Hebrews again to get to your head, guys. Yeah. So it's Hebrews 5:8. That's a passage, right? Let me read it. What translation is this? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go to New King James because I recommend you guys stay away from the new Bible versions. They're not good. Because I believe the Bible was preserved in the English King James. I don't believe it's preserved in the Greek. It's preserved in the English King James. Because if it's preserved in the Greek, that means you need a Greek scholar to tell you what it says. Which means you need to rely on a smart person to tell you what the Bible says. God will not preserve his will like that. The Bible's for everyone. It's not for just the smart people, right? Who know Greek. That's why I don't believe in the Greek is good, obviously, to look at what the words mean in the original language. But I believe the Bible was preserved in the King James because the Bible is for everyone, and English is a very common language in the world today. It would make sense supposedly for God to preserve the word in the King James and preserve it in the Greek. Most people in the world don't speak Greek. Greek is not a common language in the world, and you need a Greek scholar to tell you what it says. That's very weird. I'm sorry. Yeah, just throw it out there. Okay, let's read Hebrews 5 again. Let's read New King James. Okay, let's start from verse 7. Hebrews 5, verse 7. Let me read again. Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up praise and supplications with vehement cries and tears to him who was able to save him from death, and was heard because of his godly fear, though he was a son, yet he learned obedience by things which he suffered, and having been perfected, he became the author of eternal salvation to all who obey. Let me ask this question, guys. Why is Jesus, where in the Gospels will you find Jesus crying heavy tears to the Father? Where will you find it? You won't find it. Yeah. Ivan's talking about the Garden of Gethsemane. Yeah, but in the Garden of Gethsemane, Christ was obedient to the Father. So it's not talking about that passage. It's talking about something else. Yes, him suffering has to do with the crucifixion, obviously, but this is talking about something else. It says, though he was a son, yet he learned obedience by things which he suffered. What is there to learn if Christ has been obedient his whole life? I'm going to ask you, Christians, that question. What is there to learn if Christ has been obedient his whole life? By things which he suffered. Christ suffered in his life. And having been perfected, how can Christ be perfected if he's already perfect? I mean, he was perfected at the resurrection. You still have a dilemma. If he's perfected at the resurrection, that means before that he wasn't perfected. You still have a dilemma there, Christians. It's talking about the Garden of Gethsemane. Yeah, but it says in the days of his flesh. Other translations, it says the days of his life. It's not just talking about the Garden of Gethsemane and the crucifixion. It's talking about, like, something that happened in his life, man. Yeah. He was heard because of his godly fear. Jesus had a godly fear. What does godly fear mean? Let me look it up on Google here. Okay. Godly fear is a feeling of awe, reverence, and respect for God, and a desire to live in a way that pleases him. It can also be described as a sense of caution and submission to God. So I'm saying, Jesus had that godly fear, but why would Jesus need to have a godly fear if what he didn't struggle with if he never did a bad deed? What's the point of Paul saying he had a godly fear if he was tempted and he never did a bad deed? Why would Christ need to have a godly fear if he's already the perfect man? And why is he saying he became perfected if he's already perfect? How do you answer that, guys? You can't. We have to dance around the patch. He perfected is an exaggeration. I don't think it is, man. It said he became perfected and he learned obedience to things which he suffered. I think Paul's talking about something that did not happen in Jesus' life. That's not recorded in the Gospels. And most Christians will interpret to mean the crucifixion, but it's not the crucifixion because Christ was obedient when he went to the cross. So it's not talking about that passage, man. That's a refutation. It says he learned obedience to things he suffered. If you say it's a crucifixion, you still have a contradiction because Christ submitted to the will of the Father. Not my will, but your will be done. He was obedient there. So it's not talking about that passage, guys. Yeah. Some Sarah? Alright, you're telling me you think Christ messed up bad? No, he didn't mess up bad, but he messed up a little bit. He did bad deeds, man. As I proved to you earlier, right, with the temptation passage, yeah. You can't answer that question without proving Christ. You either have to admit Christ did the bad deed, and his commandment, the adultery commandment, is a general statement, or you have to tap dance, you have to butcher the scriptures and contradict Paul. Yeah, he was tempted, but he never thought those lustful thoughts. Well, then that means he wasn't tempted like we are, and it's a refutation. You contradict Paul. I'm a genius, yeah. If we say he was tempted, if we're saying he was tempted, but like, if we're saying he was tempted, but if you're saying he was tempted, what? If you're saying he was tempted, but he didn't think those lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't tempted like we are. Yeah, you end up contradicting Paul. And the passage now makes no sense. It's gobbledygook. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he was tempted in some special way, not like us though. But Paul said he was tempted like us. So now you contradict Paul and you have a refutation. You have to butcher the scriptures. And that's how you know without sin means his nature. It's not talking about his deeds. It's talking about the nature. I'm sorry? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. Yeah, David Wood, Anthony Rogers, Samson Moon. If I trapped them with this question, they wouldn't be able to answer it without getting refuted, because it's such a tough question. I corner you. Yeah, I have two choices. Either I admit Jesus did a bad deed, or he was tempted, but he wasn't tempted like we are. But if you say he was tempted, but not like we are, then you end up contradicting Paul. Now you have your dilemma, man. You have to make a choice, man. That's how you prove your arguments, Ivan. I'm a genius. I'm a genius, yeah. Enough about the Bible, guys. Yeah. The money off the book is mine. I'm not selling to the gatekeepers. The money is for me, my wife. It's not for the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers already have their trillions in their bank. They're not touching my money. Sincere. Yeah, the billions off the book is for me and my wife. It's not for you, man. You already have your trillions in your bank, and you lock all doors on both of us. You're not touching a dime of my money. Zero. You can throw them all you want. I'd rather wiggle 1 million and have you do like that, man. I don't want to share with a garbage wife forever with the world. I want VJ all to myself. I don't want to share with the fucking world, man. I want my wife all fresh to myself. I'm a one woman kind of guy. I'm not interested in banging fucking, I don't know, like billions of people for the rest of my life. Are you fucking crazy? Yeah. Sharing with the world with a garbage wife, crime runs every night, that's worse than death. Because at least death, you're out and you wake up 1 minute later. It's scary, obviously, but I wake up 1 minute later. I'd rather wake up 1 minute and have the gate to do like that. No fucking way. Accepting that deal. You fucking crazy? No, man. Yeah, it's okay for you guys to get your husbands and wives out to yourself, but it's not okay for I and VJ to get each other to ourselves. You guys are crazy. We're God. We deserve to have each other out to ourselves, but you guys are just blind by your habit. You're crazy fucking people, man. Yeah, man. Sincere? Yeah. How much money do you make off your book? I don't know, $10 to $20 billion on my book. I make something crazy. I make like 20. I think I'm going to make like 14, 15, 16 billion around there. 17 billion off the book. 14.5 billion off the book around there. I make off the book. 15, 16 billion. 16 billion maybe? I make off the book. That's what my wife would be like, how much money you make off your book, by the way? Give me that evil look. I just how much money you make. Yeah, I made like $60 billion off my book. You made $60 billion off your book? I'm like, actually, like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, Ivan. Ivan, we can start our own film studio with that money. Yeah, we can fund Zane's with our own cash. fund our movies with our own cash. We can build that dream $600 million house. We can buy our jets, buy our yachts, get our nice clothes, a nice collection of clothes, or nice shoes, get our nice cars, travel around the world, stay at the best suites, man. And go to the club, go to nice restaurants, go to events, go to a Halloween carnival. Like, everything is pocket change for us. We can afford it now. We're rich. You know. That's why God gave me the keys. That way the gates don't dupe me. Guy, if I don't give you the keys, the gates will never let you be a billionaire. They're blind by their envy. Yeah, they'll let guys like Elon Musk and like all those guys be worth so much money. Well, they'll never let me and Vijay be worth that kind of money because they're blind by their envy. So they're greedy psychopaths when it comes to you guys. Yeah, when it comes to us, they're greedy psychopaths. They don't want us being billionaires. They're crazy people. That's why I came with the keys. Well, the gates don't dupe me. I can make my billions. And I can control my money whenever I can get my freedom and I get it all fresh for myself. That's why God gave me the keys. That way I can live that life with my wife. Sarah? Yeah, for your relationship to work with your wife has to see the light. And if you want to get the going beauty, you both have to be fresh. If you're both trash, you're not going to get the going beauty, and you're not going to stay young forever. We'll age very slowly, but we're going to age. For me and her to stay young forever, we have to what? Be fresh. And that's why I'm not going to let the games do that. No way. I figured all the puzzle pieces of the game. I'm not going to let the games do that. No fucking way. I'm not selling. I'd rather wake up one learn how the games do that. No fucking way. Some Sarah? Yeah. All you Christians are like, holy shit, Ivan, you really know how to challenge us. Yes, I know how to challenge you. I'm a genius, man. You know, Ivan, like, yeah, we can't answer that question without getting refuted. Yeah, you can't answer the question without getting refuted. I'm a genius, yeah. Yeah. So that's why your wife cries. Yeah, she loves me a lot. She wants to be with me because she's crazy. She wants to see the light. And she has professional goals, man. She wants to, I want to be a famous movie star with Ivan and get paid my billions for it. I don't want to be in Hollywood doing all these independent movies and getting paid like $300K for it. No, I want to sign that massive deal with Amazon with Ivan. I want to travel with him. I want his billions for his book. I want to live that amazing life with him. And be good with him, which is crazy. I want to feature in the magazine, which is crazy, yeah. She's a crazy woman. I told you, I'm going to ignore her every night when she cries to me because she keeps banging the guys. And when I get my girlfriend, you better not give me hell because you're a fucking hypocrite, man. You keep cheating on me every fucking day, every week with all these men in Hollywood. You cry to me, and then when I get a girlfriend, you give me hell for it. After what you just do behind my back. So you're fucking crazy, man. You want your full cake. You're a crazy woman, yeah. I'm sorry, you're too special, man. You're God. You're my baby. I love you, and I don't want one chick fucking touching you because you're crazy. But I'm gonna let all these men fuck me, and you're never gonna know until you save me, Ivan. She's crazy. And that's why I'm not gonna let you do like that. And I will mess up when I pay the fee. There's no way I'm not gonna mess up. I'm gonna mess up like VJ did, man. Well, she knows it. Yeah, if all the Hollywood cats bang Ivan will guarantee mess up with at least 100 of them on the side. Yeah, they're fucking catty women, man. And don't forget, once I pay the fee and I have sex with maybe 100 women, I now become like VJ. I'm now addicted to sex. I'm a sex addict because the gates turn me into a sex slave. It's like a sex ritual. Yeah, let's turn Ivan into a sinner, and he ends up fucking up and he messes up like his wife did. And VJ pays a price too to be with him too because you guys are crazy people. Yeah, that's why my wife is running away with me once I pay the fee because you made her pay a price to be with me, man. She paid a horrific price too. Yeah, a horrific price to be with me. How many women do you think you're gonna have sex with? I don't know, like 10,000. Looking at something crazy. I'm why. Looking at like all the Hollywood women, I don't know, 10, 13, 12,000 women. Something crazy. Something crazy, man. Yeah. There's no way I'm not gonna mess up if I have sex with that much woman. There's no way I'm not gonna mess up. My wife's prayers. Hopefully, Ivan just does his business and but like VJ, you know I'm gonna mess up just like you mess up in all of it, man. You know it. VJ, you know it. Yeah. Some Sarah. I'll be skinny by then too. I'll be fucking handsome when I'm skinny. All the catty women in Hollywood were going after me, man. Those are crazy. Yeah, man. Just like all those men went after VJ and she messed up too. Yeah, man. Some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. I get paid tomorrow. I get my Coco 40 check. My check is not that good though, man. I got like a 400, I don't know, 400 something check tomorrow. Because the boss cut my hours again, right? I worked 3 shifts one week, and last week I only worked 1 shift. He cut my hours, man, the boss. Yeah, Coco 40. Probably because it's slow. It was probably a bit slow, that's why he cut my hours. And whenever the restaurant's slow, they cut your hours, right? Most restaurants, that's how it works. When the restaurant's pretty slow, they cut your hours. Because they're not making as much money, right? Yeah. Yeah. So if you're coming to be better in Hollywood, yes, my company will be better in Hollywood. We'll be better in Hollywood, yeah, man. Better than Hollywood. Yeah, man, we'll be better in Hollywood, my company. You guys will see how top notch is when you watch the documentary. Holy shit, Ivan's company's better in Hollywood. Yeah, a 1.8 million budget for Xanus, and you see how much I'm paying all the Hollywood stars. They signed a master contract for Xanus. The perks they're getting for the company, the technology, the photo shoots, high-end magazine photo shoots. You know what I'm saying? The luxury buffet, the limo services, staying at suites, flying on my private jet, my nice, beautiful studio lot, Grand Turismo studio lot. My company's better in Hollywood, man. The crazy fame of the fans, crazier than even Hollywood, yeah. Holy shit, the fame is crazy. Ivan's fame is crazy. Yeah, it's international fame. And that's why you guys feel the price of being left behind, because my fame is international, it's worldwide. So that's why everyone around the world, they feel left out and abandoned by God. And all the Hollywood actors feel like shit because their movies are all the side attention in Hollywood now. And my Zane's movie is the main event. Their movies are all the side attention in Hollywood. Some Sarah? Some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go to get more coffee, guys. I'll be back in a sec. So maybe we don't want to wait. Hope you guys enjoyed this show I'm making, right? You better enjoy this while you can. I told you when I'm hanging, I'm out making this for you, man. I'm piecing out, yeah. We'll be back in a sec, guys. Don't hate me, son. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Well, I'm supposed to get more coffee. This will be maybe a 1 hour, I don't know, 20-minute video. I'm done. And tomorrow I'm off, most likely. Or I might work. I don't know. My boss might text me, but I usually don't work Thursdays. I usually work Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays. So tomorrow I most likely don't work. But I probably work Friday. So tomorrow I might make maybe, I don't know, I might maybe do maybe a 2-hour video tomorrow. Or I can push for 4 hours tomorrow. I can do a 4-hour marathon tomorrow. Not a marathon, 4 hour. I'll try my best to do a 4-hour video tomorrow. I'll try, but speaking for 4 hours is long, man. I'll never go over 4 hours. Like 5 hours, 6 hours, I can't do that. That's too long. But I might push for a 4-hour video tomorrow, maybe, to entertain you guys, right? I know you guys love my videos, right? You know, even a 3-hour video view goes by fast because you're so interesting to watch. Yeah, that's why I'm worth the money. The Gates locked everything on me because they know I'm powerful. They know I can make my easy money. That's why they locked everything on me. Because they're fucking wicked people, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how much do you think the Gates are worth? They're worth at least, I don't know, they're 25. The Gates probably they're probably worth at least 25 plus $1 trillion, the Gates. They're fucking rich, man. I think they're worth more than that. Probably maybe 50, 60, even $80 trillion or where they're loaded, man. They own, all the money in the world goes to them. They're fucking rich. It's their house. They're rich, man. And you have all that money and you're making a deal over making, I don't know, 20 billion, 70 billion because you're fucking greedy, man. You're greedy psycho. Yeah, I don't want you being that rich, king, and your wife being with you. That's not pissing me off. The glowing beauty and you being a famous loser, that's not pissing me off either. You want to control your money. You want all your money going to us and give you peanuts. Well, you don't deserve to control my money. You didn't create this place, man. I did. This may be your house, but you didn't create this house. I did. Hence, I deserve to control my money. You don't deserve to control my money. You won't let me touch your money. You're not touching my money either. That's how it works. Yeah, I don't want Ivan touching a dime of my money. Okay, you're also not touching a dime of my money, too, off my book. The money off the book is mine. It's not yours. And that's when they start getting angry. And they're going to use scare tactics to get me to sell. Even then, I say, no, I'm not selling to you. I'm brave, but then once I leave that room, the evil hit me. And now it hits me and I cry. Because I actually know I'm going to die. They're not playing around. We're not fucking around, man. Either you bow to us and you get to see your wife in Hollywood. I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy. I know my wife is garbage and trash. And I don't want to share with the fucking world. You're going to destroy my life. And I don't want you taking my money, giving me peanuts, and have you do like that, man. No fucking way. I don't want a VJ who's garbage, man. She's fucking garbage and trash. You know I'm stupid? Because so many men touch her, she's trash, man. Like, I would never do that. That's disgusting. And she's garbage and trash. She'll see hell. She'll be crying around my arms every night. It won't work. So that's why the world talks about VJ in the public eye. Yeah, because VJ sold out. Because she sold out, the Gates let people talk about her. Whereas me, no one talks about me in the public eye because I didn't sell the Gates. Yeah, never mention Ivan's name unless he sells to me. You know what I'm saying? They have to listen to the Gates of the boss. Yeah, but I'm not selling, man. I have the keys. I don't sell the Gates, and the book is mine. I own the rights to it. You're not touching my money. It's my money, not yours. Don't hate me. Yeah, don't fucking hate me. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. 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 $57, guys. Yeah. Will Xanus be a sick movie, Ivan? Yeah, man. You'll see what I did when you read my book, guys. I wrote a masterpiece. I wrote an amazing book. I'll sell my ebook for $22 for you guys if you don't want to pay the $85 for the print, for the nice print collection, the nice print book. Most people are gonna buy the ebook. Yeah, $22 for the ebook and $85 for the print. $80 to $85 for the print. I'll sell it for that way. I make a nice profit. Because I know if I sell it for like $50, because Lulu has printing costs of $30-something, I'm gonna make a little profit. That's not the prices. I like most ebooks are only like $4, $5, $10, but if I price the ebooks for $4, $5, $10, I might only make maybe $6 billion off the book or something like that. I want to make at least my 10 plus, so I gotta price it for the way I make my profit. You don't want to pay the $85 for the print. Just pay your cheap $22 for the ebook and you read it on your laptop, on your iPad. I take you for a ride. You enjoy the book. I wrote a masterpiece. That's why Xanus will have Crazy World by Buzz, the movie. It's based off my famous facts novel, right, that I wrote. You know, finally hit my wife. Holy shit, Ivan, you're selfie-made. I remember when you made videos on your YouTube channel talking about your book, and now the whole world read your book. You made your billions off that. You started a home film studio, and now we're adapting your story, Ivan, your novel into a movie. Yeah, you're selfie-made. Now you're selling the game. You're making a game. You're selling all your merch. You're selfie-made, Ivan. Yeah, I'm selfie-made. Self-made multi-billionaire. Obviously. The difference between me and all these guys who are self-made billionaires is I made my easy money because I have the keys of God, obviously. I'm still self-made though, right? A self-made billionaire like Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's a self-made billionaire, yeah. Whereas Donald Trump is not a self-made billionaire. Donald Trump's father gave him like a $1 million loan. Donald Trump was spoiled when he grew up. He had rich parents. He got a $1 million loan from his dad. And see, Donald Trump is not self-made because he had a lot of help from his rich parents. Whereas Mark Cuban was poor and he built his company and he sold it to Yahoo, I think, for like $5-something billion. His broadcast company, whatever it is, something like that, right? Yeah. Yeah. How good's your book, Ivan? My book is so good, the world will be shocked with my book. Holy shit, it's a masterpiece. And a lot of fans are going to ask me, Ivan, are you going to write any more books? I'm like, no, Ivan, you're an amazing storyteller. You should write more books. I'm like, nah, guys. I want to be a movie star in my life. I don't I don't feel like writing more books. Don't get me wrong, I like writing books, but like my dream job is being a movie star. It's not being an author, man. I only wrote Xanus, so I have no choice, man. They locked all the doors on me, man. That's why I wrote the book. Otherwise, I never would have wrote it, man. Or maybe I would have, but I mean, I never would have wrote Xanus had the gates open the door on me, man. I wouldn't need to write Xanus. I have my money. Because they locked everything on me, I had no choice but to find a way to make money for my wife, and I wrote my own book. Masterpiece, by the way, and what? That's why I wrote the book. Otherwise, I never would have wrote the book. But writing a book is fun. Like I've been through the downs and lows of writing a book, the up and downs of writing a book. Writing a novel is pretty fun, but it's not being a movie star. Being a movie star is my dream job. It's not writing books. See what I'm saying? Yeah. But who knows? Maybe down the road, I might write a book. I might maybe write Their Unique. Maybe I don't know. Once I see my wife, I'll have talk to her. Hey, you think I should write Their Unique? It's up to you if you want to write it. But I mean, I'll make my billions for me and my wife. But I mean, I'm probably not going to write Their Unique. I'm just going to stick to being a movie star with my wife. I'm already making enough money off the movie. I don't need any other job. The money I make off the movie merchant games is one of the money for my wife. We don't need. I don't need to work after that, man. Because I got paid so much money. Yeah. Sincere. But it's such a good story that all the English teachers who taught me English in my life will be shocked. Holy shit! Ivan wrote this, man. He was a horrible English student. And he wrote this book. I can never write a book that's as good as this. Yeah, they're all shocked. All the teachers who taught me English in my life. And I was a bad English student. In grade 8, I was in special English class. And what? Yeah. They're going to be shocked by teachers who taught me English. Yeah, Ivan was a horrible English student and he wrote an amazing fantasy novel. Yeah, because I have the creative gift. I have the creative gift, yeah. The creative gift from the heavens. My father gave me a gift, obviously. He gave me a gift for a reason because he knew the gates were locked. Yeah, I'm going to give you a gift. I'm gonna give you the genetics to be an amazing speaker, to be an amazing actor, to write songs. I wrote many songs and I posted on YouTube. I'm naturally gifted, man. Yeah. And those songs I recorded with my phone and a beat. No, and the song still sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, because I'm gifted, man. And I can make music. I can rap. I can sing. Like my wife, I can what? I can write books. I chose to write the book because I already started writing it when I was lost. I might as well finish the book. And plus, writing a book is cheaper. It doesn't cost as much. All you need is a laptop and a brilliant mind. You can write your book. Proofreading only costs like maybe $2,000, $2,500 to proofread. It's not that expensive a book. Whereas music is expensive. You have to hire someone to record the music for you, or you can get your own set and record it yourself. But music is what is more expensive, obviously. Movies expensive too, but for 10 grand you can make a good like low budget like independent feature film for 10 grand. You can do it. It's doable, right? But books, I chose to write the book because I already started writing Xanus. That's why I chose to finish Xanus. Some center. Yeah. 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 Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and make some food for myself. Fucking hungry. I'm gonna make my chicken nuggets. I'll be back in a good like 5 minutes. Just give me a don't wait, guys. Don't hate me, son. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Well, I'm supposed to get my food. What are you eating, Ivan? I'm eating chicken nuggets like yesterday, right? With barbecue sauce. Microwave chicken nuggets. So microwave chicken nuggets are still pretty good, but they're not as good as like when you put it in the oven. But I mean, still good. Yeah, my Xanus book is amazing, guys. You'll see what I mean when you read it. I wrote a masterpiece. And, the Gates knows that, yeah, I wrote a masterpiece. The world's gonna love his book. It's gonna be so popular. We want to control that. We don't want him controlling his Xanus brand. Because we're enemies. We don't want to make it billionaire. Yeah, they're crazy people. That's why God gave me the keys. That way I could be a billionaire. Because he knew the Gates would never let me be a billionaire. That's why he gave me the keys. My father and me, right? I programmed my own mind with the keys when I was born. I knew the Gates would rep my people. Yeah. Oh, damn it. Oh, your book's really that good? Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. It's a little raw in some sections, but it's a really good book. I wrote a masterpiece, man. I don't need to be cocky. My book is so good that even guys like Brandon Sanderson, George R. Martin, J.K. Rowling, Stephen Erickson, Tad Williams, like all these guys are gonna feel like shit. Yeah, there's something about Ivan's book that stands out compared to ours. It's more interesting than ours. Ours is a bit more boring. Yeah, they feel like shit. I wrote an amazing book. Yeah. My wife would be shocked when she meets me. Ivan, did you really write the last one was Answer on your own? Yeah, I did. Holy shit, you wrote an amazing book. I enjoyed your book a lot, Ivan. That's an amazing story. I love the character with you, Ivan. Yeah, Ivan, if you turn this into a movie, you're looking at a masterpiece. Yeah, she'll tell me that. You're looking at a masterpiece, man. Turn it into a movie. Yeah, the trailer. The last hope for Xanus. Base off the what? The amazing series written by Ivan O'Mara. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, Ivan's selfie-made. Yeah, I'm selfie-made, man. Yeah, The Last of Us is written by Ivan O'Mara, based off a novel series written by Ivan O'Mara. MM. Sorry guys, I'm enjoying my chicken nuggets. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. You really think Xanus is better than Lord of the Rings? Yes, it is, man. It's a better book than Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece. I read Lord of the Rings. I read all 3 books. The book is good, but it's a bit boring, man. No offense, right? Like Tolkien's is a legend, I respect him, but man, his book, his Lord of the Rings trilogy is a little boring for me personally. Whereas my book is not like that. My book is like, it's an amazing book. When you read it, you're hooked. You laugh. The characters are funny. They stand out on the page. It's an amazing book, man. Some of it's raw, but it's top notch, man. It's an amazing book that I wrote. Some Sarah. Yeah, man. It's an amazing book that I wrote. My book. The Last Hope for Singing. It's published in 3 volumes. I'll sell it on Lulu. So I'm self-publishing my book. I'm not traditionally publishing a book. I'm self-publishing it. I get 80%. Lulu takes her 20% of the cut. Yeah, my wife be shocked. Did you really write that book on your own? Yes, I did. She's like, holy shit, that's an amazing story. She's all shocked. Yeah, I wrote an amazing book, man. Yeah, man. She'll tell you that. Yeah, did you really write The Last of Us Ants on your own? I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed your book, man. That was like the best fantasy novel I ever read in my life. That's the best novel I ever read in my life, Ivan. You are gifted. Yes, I am gifted. Just like you're gifted too. You can sing and write music, right? I'm also gifted too. I can write an amazing novel. God gave me a gift. Yeah. And writing a novel is not easy, man. You have to be very creative to write, especially fantasy. Writing a fantasy novel is not easy, man. You have to create your own world. You have to make your world feel real when the reader reads your book. Fantasy is a very tough genre to tackle, man. It's tough, man. Yeah, it's not easy writing a novel. That's why a lot of people give up. It's so hard, and I wrote my novel with ease. Did you struggle in some areas? Of course I did. There was one chapter, the chapter, the secret council on surprising love, the secret council on surprising arrival. That chapter I struggled with the most. I had what you called writer's block a little bit, but then I because I'm creative, I was still able to write a pretty good chapter. That chapter's not the greatest chapter, but still pretty good because I had a bit of writer's block, but I was able to finish the chapter because I'm creative. Okay. Oh, how do I make this scene work? And I write, and I end up writing an amazing novel. Yeah, I'm a genius, a creative genius. Yeah. Some Sarah, 5:48, guys. Yeah. Now I'm going to take a nice hot shower. I'll start going to the treadmill February. I'm going to have a New Year's resolution. I'm going to start going on the treadmill February. So February 1st, I will start going on the treadmill. I'm going to be serious. I want to lose this weight and get my girlfriend. Don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. 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 So, Sarah? So, Ivan, the fame is crazy when you, the fame will be crazy when you release the book. Yeah, man, looking at crazy worldwide fame. Once the world reads it, Everywhere I go with my wife, people are gonna ask me for pictures. I love you, bro. Can I take a picture with you? And they take pictures of me and my wife, and it's trending on X, man. It's crazy. And my wife was like, "Holy shit, Ivan is famous, crazy." Yeah, she's like, "Holy shit." It's a John Rush. I feel so on top of the world. Yeah, we're trending on X. Number one trending thing on X, man. Every day. Every day, me and my wife are the number one trending thing on X. And the whole world's tuning into the trends. It's crazy, man. Not just X. You have Facebook. People are going to post pictures on Facebook, Instagram. It's crazy. TikTok. Yeah. But not YouTube. Not YouTube, obviously. No, not TikTok or YouTube, but they're going to post stuff on Instagram and X. And it's trending on X, man. It's crazy. Behind the scene fame, yeah. It's crazy, man. Some sorry? Facebook, X, Instagram, it's crazy, yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. That's like what? Me and my wife, we live in a life, man. Yeah, man. Smoking hot with a glowing beauty. Yo, I haven't set the whole thing up, man. Like the VJ he gets is hotter, and the VJ Ivan gets is harder than the one we saw when he paid the fee. Yeah, the whole thing is set up, man. All those men, yeah, even though we banged her, she ran away, we got ripped off sex, and she's garbage and trash. So Ivan gets her fresh, and he gets her even hotter with glowing beauty. Yeah, I set the thing up. And it was one like, yeah, even though we banged Ivan ran away. We didn't get him with his full-grown beard. We didn't get him with a glowing beauty. Yeah, the whole thing is set up. I'm a genius. Can't do God here. But you still made us pay, hence you also pay too. When I'm king, you're left behind. You're not safe. You deserve, man. May pay price for my wife. You also pay too. That's how it works. Oh, Abelson, yeah. So, Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, you really challenged us about Jesus' holiness. Maybe this whole thing about him never do bad deeds, maybe it's bullshit. Yes, I call bullshit. There's proof in the Bible to show that he did do bad deeds. That passage in Hebrew that I quoted many times, Hebrews 5:8, right? As well as the passage in Hebrews when it talks about Christ being tempted. All you gotta do is just trap the Christian with that question. They can't answer it without getting refuted. If you say Jesus was tempted, he didn't think it was lustful thoughts, that means he wasn't tempted like we are, and you end up contradicting Paul and you get refuted. Or you have to admit, yeah, he was tempted, but if he's tempted, that means he thought those lustful thoughts. Excuse the music. It's my younger brother. That means, yeah, if we say he was tempted like us, that means he must have thought those lustful thoughts towards those women. But then that means Jesus did commit adultery in his heart. That means Jesus did a bad deed. And it's a general statement when he made that commandment. Yes, those are your two choices. Either you have to admit he did a bad deed as a general statement and for the commandment of committing adultery in your heart, or you end up contradicting Paul and you have to butcher the scriptures. Because Paul said he was tempted like we are, but if you said he was tempted, but he didn't have a lustful thought, but he didn't think lustful thoughts towards those women when they hit on him, that means he wasn't tempted like we were. He was tempted in a different way, and you end up contradicting Paul. It's a refutation. And that's how you refute their arguments, Ivan. Because I'm a genius. Yeah, man. I'm a genius, yeah. Almost as real, guys. Some Sarah? Yeah. 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 You think VJ will write books when she's agreeing with you? No, she won't. VJ will not write a book. She's lazy, man. No, I'm lazy. I don't feel like writing a book, but she'll guarantee do music. Obviously, she's gonna want to do music with me when she's agreeing with me. I want to write a song with you. We do a few singles, but I don't want to start a music production company. I don't want us to be distracted. Like, we can do a couple singles. We just rent a studio and have the guys record. We have our doc team film a music video. We can do that. But like, I don't mind doing some singles there, but I don't want to like record like a whole album and that kind of stuff and start a music production company. I'm not interested in music. Music is fun, but acting I like more than music, right? Yeah, but my wife loves music. She's gonna want to do singles with me, obviously. When she's cool with me, obviously. Ivan, I have an idea for a few songs. I want to write a song with you, Ivan. And we rent a studio and they record for us, and then we have the doc team film the music video and we release it for the world to buy. We make our billions off that too, yeah. Easy money. I'm saying. Hey, guys, it was great. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I hope I challenge you Christians out there. Sam Shamoon, David Wood, and I'm saying Anthony Rogers. I hope I challenge you guys with what I explained earlier in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll make a video most likely when I wake up in the morning. I might do a 4-hour video tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, a 4-hour video, or I might do a video with my board. See what happens. I'm signing up. Peace, guys. Bye. Don't hate me. I hope you guys enjoyed this show I made for you.